Hi, and welcome to the Dinner Agenda. This is Bo.
And this is CeeLo.
Hello, CeeLo. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Good, good, good. It's a beautiful sunny day out today, so that makes me very happy.
I know, but it's a little chilly.
It is a little. So you've obviously been out walking your dog.
I did. We walked
Mm-hmm.
this morning, although I was out late last night, so she got a walk late.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't go out until just before 8, I think, this morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't too bad. Not the crack of dawn, which is I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did put a little hat on because it was
Cool.
chilly.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Mhm.
The other day, though, last week, I think it was on Thursday, we actually got up to
Yeah.
21.
Was it really? I
Yes.
kept seeing 18
Beautiful.
in the forecast, and it
I
definitely
know.
felt warm. Like that day I got up and I'm like, that's why that big thunderstorm
Yeah.
the night before, because that warm, humid air was moving in. And when I got up in the morning, I was like, oh, you can feel the humidity already in
Mm-hmm.
the air.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think it actually, a spring 21 or a spring 18 is different from a fall 18,
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
you know?
absolutely, absolutely. But I have to say, it's
Yeah.
still it felt lovely. I actually went into the
Yeah.
office that day, and I didn't bring a coat or a jacket or anything. I was just like comfortable. Oh, it was lovely. It felt like spring was definitely on its way, you know?
I know. It makes me
It
happy.
makes me
Just the
happy.
sunshine alone makes me so happy.
You know what else makes me
So
happy? The fact
what?
that I received an email the other day that basically said, "Get ready. The yard sales will be starting in these locations
Oh.
on these dates."
How
I'm
do
like,
you get what kind of email is this? Did like
mm,
a neighborhood Facebook group or something?
it's
Like what the heck?
it's a yard sale community thing that I'm on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I subscribe to get
Of
their
course you
notices and
are.
stuff. I know, so I'm getting super excited because you know that I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
know you do.
I do.
Can't pass one by.
No, and the other thing I just wanted to briefly mention was, remember when we talked about Dave and I going to Reptilia? It was the reptile
Yes.
zoo or whatever it was. So I did a
Yes.
little bit more digging into that, and all of the reptiles,
Uh,
because we were talking about zoos and all that other stuff, right? And do we think
mhm.
that they're right or wrong, that kind of stuff. Anyways, the reptiles that are at Reptilia in Whitby, Ontario, they are all rescues. So a lot of
Oh,
them have been rescued from people's homes, that what weren't
wow.
that they would get very large, or things like that. Anyway, so they're all rescues, and any of the ones that are in there cannot be rehabilitated to be released in the wild. So they need human intervention, and that's why they're there. So just wanted to let you know that.
Except for maybe those massive monitor lizards, because I don't know who would have that
Crocodiles.
in their home.
No, the monitor lizards were the ones that people did have in the homes. I think I mentioned one of the guides was mentioning, I know, but it was the Nile crocodiles, those ginormous Nile crocodiles. More than likely, someone had thought it was going to be fun to have a pet crocodile, not realizing or not thinking about the consequences of once they actually start growing up, right? Because they get them really, really small.
Like, what do they have, like a pool in their backyard and they think this is gonna be awesome? I don't
Most of them
understand
keep
that.
them inside their homes, right? Like they're not
Mhm.
outside, and they get them as little tiny babies. And they're just stupid people not really thinking about the consequences of this and thinking that they can overcome nature by training a baby crocodile to be this loving, affectionate thing. I don't know. Anyways, so they're all rescues, which does make me feel a little bit better.
Okay, I feel good too now
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what you got going on?
Well, we also talked about bugs. We talked a little bit about bugs,
Mm.
right? We won't mention spiders, although there was a few little comments on spiders on the Insta,
Oh,
so
I know I saw. I know I saw.
right?
Yeah.
My sister my sister said to check your red lipstick because it likely
No, no,
has
no, no, no,
that red beetle bug.
no!
Sorry. Yeah.
Meredith!
Oh,
Meredith!
look at that red nail polish too, probably has the beetle in
Ah!
there.
Meredith! How could you do this to
No.
me?
My other
The
sister
other
who's
one!
worked in the cosmetic industry, so, like,
Vicky, you
source of
just
truth.
destroyed my I don't have any lipstick on right now, but my lipstick usually
Mm-mm.
has some type of pink or red tinge to it. Oh,
It's probably beetle.
fuck me. Are you kidding? Okay,
Yeah.
well, you know what?
You know what you that Yuka app that I'm scanning everything with,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
scan cosmetics with it,
Okay,
so then you
all
can
right.
find out if it's got dead beetle dust in it.
That has just destroyed
Next
my
time you're in the mirror, like, putting on your lipstick.
just smearing it with frickin' red beetle guts. That's just so fucking nasty.
When Vic told me that, I am like, "I gotta write that shit down because I absolutely can't wait to fill you in, Bo."
You know what?
Mhm.
Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that for ruining all of the colors of lipstick that I have in my collection. Um, I
You're
use
gonna have to switch to, like, maroon or plum.
but they probably have some type of red pigment in there too to make those colors, right? So,
Totally,
yeah. So now, okay, I have a Burt's Bees lip balm that is a little has a little bit of a tint to it, and that's my typical go-to when I'm just going out because my lips get dry if I don't have something on them. And
yes.
so I just put that on because there's a tiny tiny little tint. I wonder, I'm gonna have to scan that from the Yuka app and see what it says
Have
about
to
that. That's
scan it.
fucking
I do
disgusting.
I know.
All
I
right.
do think I scanned the Burt's Bees 'cause, Iz loves the Burt's Bees,
Yeah.
and I think they were A-okay, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it had a tint on it, so we'll have to double check it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
So you're gonna have to
otherwise
go scan.
back to Vaseline. I'll just use
You know when you said you got an email
yeah.
and it was regarding the yard sales, but
Oh, yeah.
my first thought on that
Mhm,
was
mhm.
that it was an email that said, "Oh my god, not to worry, your shit test came back and everything looks great." And then I thought, "Oh my god, I haven't followed up with you on the shitting in the pie plate." And I can tell by your face you haven't done it. Just think of how bored our dinner guests are gonna be listening to me asking you every week, so you better get on it.
Alright, let me pull it out. Let me pull it out. I'm pulling it
Yeah.
out. I'm going to
No, don't pull out the shit
no,
plate,
no,
just
no, I'm
pull
gonna
out
pull it in.
the
I'm
form.
putting it here, so when I'm done
Okay.
recording with you, I'll put it into the bathroom, and,
Yes.
the next time I have
Go to the
to
dollar store.
yeah, mhm.
Go to the dollar store, get yourself that
Damn it.
pie
This
plate.
is just you suck
Um,
eggs. Okay.
Also,
Mhm,
talking about scanning stuff,
mhm,
I've been pretty diligently scanning stuff.
mhm,
Not that I've been perfect by any stretch, because 'cause I'll be, like, halfway through eating something, and then I'm like, "I don't think I scanned this," and then I scan it, and I'm like, "Okay, can't
mhm,
buy that again."
mhm, mhm.
I scanned my favorite gum, my minty gum that I love.
Yeah.
I love the Mentos gum.
Oh,
Have you tried the
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Mentos
it's great
gum?
gum, great gum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
Gum.
What is it?
So bad. It
Why?
is. It has, like, 5 high-risk additives in it.
Like, aspartame probably, right? Is one of them?
No, I don't think aspartame
Mm.
qualifies as an additive. You're gonna make me, like,
No,
read
no,
them out
no, no,
now.
you don't have to read them out, but so the Mentos gum is obviously not as good for you as you thought, right?
Mentos gum. Blue Run food coloring, high risk.
Yeah.
Booty
Delicious?
Attid hydroxytoluene,
Oh, that.
BHT,
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Mhm.
Sucrose ester of fatty acids, bad.
Hmm,
Acesulfame K, bad. Aspartame, bad.
hmm. So now what are you gonna do?
I don't know, because I do like mints and gum all the time.
I do too. I have a little metal container of Altoids in my purse at all times, and I'll just like when I feel like I need
Mm,
a little bit of a fresh, I'll
yeah.
pop one in. Um,
Okay.
and they're really strong and give you a really big mint flavor, but I don't know how bad
Yeah,
those are. So we should look them up. But I thought
I
they
should
were,
scan those.
yeah, I don't know.
The
Oh,
Mentos gum is out. I know, it makes me sad. And I've bought that Pure gum before, PUR. Have you seen those in the little, like,
yes. And
packages?
how was that?
Well, it wasn't good, long-lasting gummy gum. So I
Mm,
might have to change my expectation of gum, to
that
be
kind
honest.
of sucks
Makes
assholes.
me sad.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Sucks a
Well,
little bit for sure.
it does.
Okay, I have another follow-up item
Oh,
here jotted
me too.
down,
Yeah,
and
okay,
that
go
is
ahead.
we heard from a couple of people,
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
couple
Well,
of listeners
that was on my list to talk about too, yeah.
about the glasses.
Yes, I was gonna say Sarah the Smiling Sloth. She was kind enough to get back to us on something. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
she has the transitions and loves them,
I
loves
know,
them.
I
So
know.
I thought, okay, maybe we'll have to give those a well, certainly better than buying 2 pairs of glasses, one with sunglasses and one regular.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I agree with you. And so it was. I'm actually very thankful that she did mention that she has them and loves the transitions because that is making me want to try them for sure. Because it's been on my mind to get them as my next pair,
There you go.
because I do always have to spend double the cost on getting regular glasses now and sunglasses, prescription sunglasses as well. So
Yeah.
I am going to give them a shot and see how I like them. The question that's still out there is the bifocals, right? Is it the bifocals? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, because
Well,
the
the try, I
progressives
think
or
it's
whatever they're
like
called now. Yeah.
distance, computer, and then readers, so you have to, like, adjust your eyes for whatever you're looking at. And Marty has those and loves them. She
Does
said
she?
took a little while yeah, she said took a little while to get used to, but once you get used to them,
Mm.
it's golden.
Okay.
And not having to take shit off and on was a huge plus, so
You know,
I'm gonna bite the bullet and go get them.
okay, so if you're doing those and I'm doing the transitions, then
We
we'll
can do a
have
full
to,
report.
yeah, let's do that because then you'll know about transitions for your next pair, and I'll know about
Yeah.
these trifocals for my next. Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, see it. Thank you, listeners.
Look at us.
We
It's
appreciate
like
it.
investigative reporting,
I
right? What
know.
do we let's just call us like consumer report or something. I think that's taken. I'll have to be something else, but you get my drift.
I do, I do. So I have another update about some other convos that we had from another listener. So Donna, I ran into Donna at an engagement party, and she was mentioning that. So she listens to our podcast all the time, and she said to me that she's in the process now. Forgive me, Donna, because I can't remember if this was your own mother or your mother-in-law, but she mentioned that they are in the process. Her and her husband are in the process of trying to find a home at this point for their aging
Mm.
mother. And she had listened to our episode about where I think you had said your stepfather had mentioned that he wanted to have in-home care, meaning that he would
Yes.
hire like somebody, like a live-in nurse, if you will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Donna was
Like
doing
a PSW,
at
not
Liz.
necessarily a nurse, but
Yeah,
somebody to help with
yeah.
a variety of tasks.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Donna was doing some investigation in that. And so she kind of looked into it, and it's actually much more expensive than we thought because yeah, you
Oh.
do have to pay them by the hour, especially if you're looking for 24-hour support, right? Somebody living with you. It ended up being something insane, like 280,000 a year, something crazy like that. So she, yeah, when
What?
I met her at this like saw her at this engagement party and we were chatting and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this that episode about, the home and in-home care." And so that's when she shared with me what she had found out and I thought, "Oh geez, you know what? Thank you for letting me know that because that changes the game just a little bit." What I
Yeah.
don't know is if you know how you can get those nannies that come in from like Philippines, for example, and they room and board is part of the pay package, and that ends up being
Yeah.
a little bit more affordable. But they're still like what 40,000 a year on top of room and
I
board.
don't know. I don't know,
Remember
but
from when we were
that's, like, what he's thinking of is that, like, room and board would be part of the
don't know.
plan, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, or if it would have to be like someone who needs that opportunity coming in from another country that would you'd pay them less because room and board is
Yeah.
included. I don't know how that works, but I know that you guys had shared a nanny like that when your kids were young with
Yeah.
another family on the street, and it was something along those lines, right? Where it was like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still kind of expensive.
Yeah, I think there's probably not a huge difference. I think daycare for a baby, like 12 months to 2 years old, is an arm and a leg,
Yeah.
and they were looking at having a live-in nanny anyway that could help with some of the other stuff around the house, and so the fact that then we paid them
Yeah.
made it cheaper for us than doing baby daycare at the time,
Yeah.
and, and price was right for what they were looking for. So all around it worked out great. But
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think that what he's thinking is room and board would affect the cost of the services that the person would provide.
Mhm,
And he doesn't need necessarily a nurse per se.
mhm,
He's looking for help around the place to help with cleaning, maybe cooking, helping him maybe get around, helping with some groceries,
mhm,
just general stuff, not
mhm.
nursing stuff per
Got it.
se. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought that was interesting. So it's just something to keep in mind. Not
Yeah.
sure it's going to be doable for depending on the situation and the financial situation. But you know what? Hey, maybe what we do is introduce your stepfather to my mother, and then maybe we move them in together and we split the cost. See, look. Oh my God, I know.
Could you friggin' imagine? We'd be sisters if they got together and hooked up.
I know. That would be, if the thought of the two of them being romantic didn't gross me the fuck out,
Yeah.
this would actually be okay.
Being romantic.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, for fuck's
It does. I had to get over the ew,
yeah,
and then I'm like, "Wait a minute, this could be a plan."
this could work to our advantage, that's for sure. And then one last shout out is to Steve. Okay, so,
'Kay.
ran into Steve, at the engagement party as well, and he is also an avid listener of our podcast, so thank you, Steve. And
Right.
Steve apparently, CeeLo, so this is what's gonna be really funny to find out. So, I met Steve when I was younger, 16? Something like that?
Okay.
Maybe 15, 16 years old?
Teenager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like your daughter's age-ish.
Okay.
And I had met him through my cousin's husband because he was friends with my cousin's husband. And then, because you're younger and you're all hanging out, that's great. And then everybody kind of goes their separate ways, and everybody gets married, and they have their kids, and you don't really speak for. And then you run into each other. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's you, right? Anyways, so he had mentioned that he listens to our podcast, but he also mentioned that he has an old answering machine tape of me leaving something probably inappropriate and or funny on his answering machine. So he's going to see if he can actually download that to a digital file, and if he does, I said I would
Oh
play it on
my
here.
Oh, well, we'll definitely need to play it on here. Come on, that's too friggin'
Isn't
funny.
it? Isn't it funny? I know. I know. I know.
It's funny that you say that. We were at, a dear friend of the family's 70th birthday party last night.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
You
The
have a
daughters put
friend?
this
Sorry, you have a friend who's 70? What did you just say?
family
Family
friend,
friend. Okay.
family friend.
I was like, what? When the fuck did that
Also
happen?
also listens to the pod, so shout out Lily,
Oh,
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday, Lily.
Yeah, and, her girls, she has 3 daughters, had put together this, party for them, and Iz was working, but Nathaniel came with us,
Hmm.
and we walked in, and everybody there is like, "Who's oh my god, oh my god." The last time I saw him, he was little, he was a baby, and now
Yeah.
he's like a tall
Your
man, person,
son,
and they
CeeLo.
were all surprised, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I guess, right? Like, people, when you don't see people often enough,
Hmm.
all of a sudden in a kid's lifetime, like
Yeah.
5 years makes a huge difference as they grow
It
and
does.
change and
It
do
does.
all that,
Well,
but
there was a period of time where it was like
Mhm.
every couple of months when we get together with the whole family, I'd be like, my fuck, like Nathaniel's grown again. Like it just
Yeah,
didn't like it happened so fast. And quite frankly, I mean, he is such a tall kid. Like
I know.
and I remember him being this tiny little thing. You know what I mean? That
I
was like,
know.
I want Auntie Bo to read me a book tonight. I want her to put me to sleep tonight. And look at him now, right? Like it's true, right?
Or when you would drag Dave down to the basement to play video games.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's so funny. I
and
know.
now
It's
he's a
it's
big
true.
man
And
child.
and he was so little, and now he's this ginormous guy, yet he's still a kid.
I know.
It's crazy. He's so tall.
I said to somebody last night, I'm like, "I don't know why I put him in hockey, I should have put him in
Yes.
basketball."
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
come
Does he
on.
have any interest in
Yeah,
basketball
tall
at all or
boy.
no? Oh, he seems to
Oh,
be
he
comfortable,
plays it over at the schoolyard,
but
but
nothing
he
like the
really
hockey,
likes
right?
hockey,
Yeah,
so
okay.
yeah, he really likes hockey.
I don't know.
So, yeah, I was out for a big party last night, and that's why I was home so late
Well,
because
look
I
at
was out
you.
whooping it up.
Look at you
Yeah.
whooping it up.
The girls did a great job, condo party room,
Nice. Yeah,
lots of food,
yeah.
and, it was just it was just so nice when you celebrate such a milestone birthday to be with family
Yeah,
and just surround it was really sweet. It was
yeah,
really sweet. It was
yeah.
nice to see everybody.
So this was
Yeah.
a family friend, and just out
Yeah.
of
Mm.
curiosity, were any of the people that were attending some of the same people that attended your mother's celebration of life?
No, this is
Okay.
Mel's family
Oh,
side.
Mel's family side. Okay. No, the reason why I
Yeah.
asked that is because it just reminded me that when we did your mother's celebration of life, when you did
Yes.
it, and we attended, yeah, I ran into my old dentist. Remember that? I had no idea your mom was friends with my old dentist, Dr.
I don't
Fleming.
remember that.
Yes,
Doctor Who?
Fleming, Dr. Fleming. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
He was
even
an older guy. They went golfing together. They did a lot of golfing together. They did a lot of curling together. Your mom and your stepdad. Yeah, yeah. Maybe you've
That's
forgotten.
kind of bonkers. I've
I know.
totally forgotten.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I need to, like, go back through, like, pictures
yeah,
or something
yeah,
and
yeah.
see.
I'll point him out. But yeah, yeah, it was really funny. That was like just, it's such a thrill to see him because he was my childhood dentist, right up until
Yeah.
he retired when I was a young adult, and I hadn't seen him
Oh
since.
my
So, yeah,
god.
yeah, it's
That's
funny.
hilarious.
So what is it? 6 degrees of
Yeah.
separation, something along those lines.
It's totally 6
Yeah,
degrees of separation, no
yeah,
question. That happens a lot.
yeah.
I feel like that happened recently, but I can't remember the story because I'm old, so
So I
but
had
yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. Actually, there was a meme that I saw on Facebook that I was trying to get the link to so I could send it to you because you don't have fucking Facebook like everybody else in this world. So you can't
Sorry.
see those ones. But it was a something to do with you're at that age now where you rely on your friends to as your memory, like to remind you of what happened in the past.
Yes.
And that reminds me of like when we were talking about, I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before, about your sister's basement apartment getting broken into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you were like, she didn't have a basement apartment. Like, yes, she did. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, and I remember exactly where it was located. And then we ended up
Yes.
having a conversation with your sister on the phone, and even she had
Yes.
forgotten some of those things. But yeah,
She had forgotten a lot of those because when I first messaged her, she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
yeah, 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 yeah. But
But then
it happened.
slowly it was like a few more bits of the story,
Yeah,
and it was like, "Oh, yeah, that
yeah,
kinda sounds
yeah.
familiar." Yeah.
Exactly,
And you're
exactly.
like, "And you walked down the stairs, and you had your dog, and it was just a puppy," and Meredith's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah."
yeah. Right. That's right. That's too funny.
Oh,
I know.
man, that's too funny.
So I've got a question for you, CeeLo.
Mm-mm.
So
Yes.
tonight, we're all getting together. We're having family dinner tonight.
Yes.
And I hear that your daughter is bringing her boyfriend.
Yes. She
So
is.
Dave says to me last night when we were out, he says, we were just chit chatting while we were waiting for some other folks. And he says, listen, I don't want you making fun of Isabella. Getting a
Yes.
rise out of her, whatever, about the boyfriend, like, ooh, like those kinds of things. He's like, leave her alone. Don't make her sensitive. Like, what? And I'm like, okay.
Yes.
So I said to him, I said, got it. But there's an element of like, don't ants have to do that? Don't we have
I
to kind of do that a little bit?
Dave and I are on the same
Damn it.
wavelength
All right. I will be
because
very good then
because
tonight.
now with the boyfriend and the
Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah,
they've
yeah.
both been over, we've spent some
I'm
time
sorry,
or
what?
had a dinner or
Wait,
whatever.
stop.
Oh, yeah,
Nathaniel,
the boy has a girlfriend.
stop. Okay,
Hmm.
what is this? Tell me what's happening now. What the
I know,
fuck?
they're basically getting married and moving out. No, he has a girlfriend, it's now official,
Okay.
that's all. Like, it's been a few weeks.
Is
Super sweet kid.
she coming to dinner
She's
too?
No, she's not coming to dinner, we're not there yet.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay.
It's too soon. But, the times where we've had dinner either with one of the boyfriend or the girlfriend or even with one of their friends at the table,
Mhm.
and Mel will sometimes do like a teasing thing,
Mm,
and the kids fucking hate it.
okay.
Like, so upset about it. And I thought, I know Bo will try and tease her and I should say something. But I know that with you, I can just like look at you and be like,
Yeah, and I'd stop. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
make a
You
face
have
and
to
you'll
just
like
give me
shut
the
us down.
eyes.
But Dave and I was thinking about this like literally this morning.
That's so fucking funny. Okay. So I had
Yeah.
said to Dave, like, I know earlier on when you and I were talking about Isabella having a boyfriend or getting a boyfriend, I had said to you, can I message her and be like, ooh, la 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 la, and you were like, yeah, go for it, at that time. But now that he's physically
Yes.
joining the family dinners, I guess it's a little bit more of a
She
real
doesn't want to be, yeah,
embarrassed.
like
Yeah.
embarrassed
Okay.
in front of
Okay. So
him.
I will be very good, but I can't promise that I won't whisper a little something in her ear when I am hugging her hello. Just a little bit like,
Yes.
"Ooh, mm, mm."
You can totally do that. As long as it's nothing that
No,
embarrasses her
no,
in front of
no,
him,
no, no, I won't do that.
then
I
we're
won't do that.
good. Like a little dig here and there is one thing, but
Mhm,
I think I think it was one of Iz's friends was over for dinner
mhm.
and Mel was making all of these like innuendo jokes about pickles and touching pickles and eating pickles. And Iz was fucking mortified, rightly so.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
And her
yeah.
friend was giggling away and it felt like her mom was making fun of her basically. And Mel didn't really think anything of it. She was just kind of making
Yeah,
jokes and
yeah,
she was getting a rise out of the friend, and the friend
yeah,
was so then Mel,
yeah, got
when
it.
you're making a joke and someone's laughing, that just gets you going even more, so
Mhm, mhm.
yeah. So
Okay,
good.
noted, noted. Dave was
Noted.
right. He can put his "I'm right" T-shirt on for dinner tonight, and he can wear that proudly at the table. So we're actually going to an interesting restaurant tonight. Uh,
I
none of us
know.
have tried. It's called Antler, and
Yeah,
it's in the West End of Toronto. And they
yeah,
they pretty much serve wild game, right? It's like venison, bison,
yes,
yeah, yeah, Should
and
be
trout.
and trout, and but it's like
Them's
fresh
trout.
caught trout, right?
Yeah,
Um, which, by the way, I think I've mentioned previous time many times. A trout is my absolute
you
favorite fish. I just love it.
you do love some
I
trout,
do.
yes.
But this should be an interesting restaurant
Yeah.
to try, and I hope we like it.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't Mel saying something about there was some kind of controversy happening with that restaurant at one point with the animal activists or something when it first opened or something?
Probably, yeah. I think
Yeah.
when it first opened, maybe there was some, vegetarian, vegan
Uh-huh.
people supporting because it's a very meat forward kind of place from
Hmm.
the sounds of it,
Hmm.
but yeah. So hopefully but, I mean, no, let's try it.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see how it goes.
yeah. That's what I say.
We gotta try something new.
I think so too. Um,
Yeah.
I went to brunch this morning, CeeLo. Met some friends for brunch.
Mhm. Well, you look fabulous. You have a
Uh,
fancy shirt on, you got your necklace on.
Okay, no. So the necklace I usually always have on, this is an Old
Uh,
Navy shirt. It's nothing fancy. It's an Old Navy shirt.
really?
Yeah, yeah, it's just Old Navy. It's Old Navy. That's all.
Oh, it looks cute.
Oh, well, thanks.
Looks
That's good.
fancy.
And okay, so anyways, I go for brunch this morning, and as we're leaving brunch, we're passing by this British store, and everybody's like, "Let's go into the British store." And we're like, "Okay, let's go to the British store." And they've got all kinds of stuff from the UK, right? That you can't really buy
Yeah.
here. Um, you know, we went out for brunch, and I was not planning on this, but there was this beautiful shawl that they had there. It was just so beautiful, and I ended up buying that. And then you know what else? I know. It was beautiful though. Like even Dave was like, "Yeah, this is it's really nice." So I got his seal of approval, right? But
Yeah.
um, you know what they had there, Sila, that I found? So I think you and I talked about how much we like. Was was yours the mini eggs that you like versus the Easter cream eggs?
Correct.
Okay. I like the mini eggs, but I love the Cadbury Easter cream eggs too. Fucking
Okay.
love them. Guess what I found in this store? White chocolate Cadbury Easter cream eggs. And I
I
love
don't think I've ever seen
I've
them.
never seen that either. And I love white chocolate and I love the Cadbury Easter cream eggs. They also had orange, like orange chocolate Easter cream eggs.
Oh,
Yeah. They had a
That I
whole
would try.
yeah, they had a whole bunch of variety. Anyways, I bought a couple of the white chocolate Easter cream eggs, so we'll give them a shot and see what they're like. I'll let you know.
And where is
Hmm.
this fancy British store?
In Ajax. It's called British
In
Isles, I think it
Ajax,
is.
British
British
Isles.
Isles, yeah.
Did you scan any of those fancy treats?
No, CeeLo, fuck off.
Look it. Listen to me.
No.
On the Yuka Instagram page, they often will do a comparison of the same foods
Yeah.
and the ingredients list and what it's rated between the US and Europe.
Oh,
Because in Europe, they don't use some of those horrible
that is
things that
true.
shouldn't even be considered food additives.
Yeah.
So that's why I was curious. Like, I'm
Oh,
curious if you scan the Cadbury mini eggs that you buy
there.
imported from
From the UK.
the UK, if
Mhm.
it was any different from what we would scan here in the Canada.
Okay, I will scan it then. I don't have them like I don't have it up here. So
It's fine.
I'll s-
We can do a post
oh,
report
actually,
on
just a
this.
minute. No, I do. Just a minute. Just a minute. I do just
Do you have them right there? Just in case you needed a snack while we're
no, no,
recording,
no,
you're
no,
like,
because I had come up. Okay, so here is the white chocolate Cadbury
fancy.
mini Easter cream egg. Now, let me get my Yuka app.
Okay, while you're doing that, it's funny because I believe McDonald's has the cream egg McFlurry out right now,
I've never
the
had one.
limited edition.
Have you had
Oh,
one?
no? I have not had one.
Oh,
And
it says it is very bad. It scores a 0 out of 100. 0, 0 out of 100. So the additives to avoid that are in here, more
dead beetles.
fuck off. So food coloring, yellow 2G food coloring,
Eh,
artificial flavoring. Uh, that's it. I don't know why
those are the
it's
bads.
the bads. Yeah. Then risk-free is soy lectin,
Yeah,
calcium chloride, which is an anti-caking agent. It's high
yeah.
in saturated fat, sugar, and calories. A bit too caloric is what it says. But it does
Yeah.
positives. The positives, are you ready for this? There's some protein in it, there's some fiber in it, and it's low in salt. Yucca has not
Low
found
in
a better
salt, but it's super high in
super.
sugar.
So it says Yucca has not found an alternative for this product, a good or a better alternative. Calories are
Yeah.
441 calories per egg.
Oh my God, that's funny. There's some things that I
Yeah.
scan and it says it's bad, but it's like I'm scanning some sweet treat and it's like high in sugar, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting into. I'm scanning a friggin' chocolate.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have those high risk additives, then I'm like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
have a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, you know what? There's two of them, one for me, one for Dave. So, we'll just we'll
Perfect.
eat one and then we'll see what we think about it and leave it at that.
I have a little sweet treat.
Exactly.
Um, did I tell you that wifey's back at the fucking auction?
What?
Yeah,
She what
she went on.
happened?
So
See, it's spring fever,
I
Sheila.
had,
It's spring fever. That's what's doing
you
it.
think?
Yeah, because I'm itching to
Yeah,
spend money too, and it's like I shouldn't, but yeah.
it's
Okay, go
not
on.
good.
Mhm.
Um, I we had sibling dinner last week. I don't know. Yeah, last week I think.
Okay.
And my brother's like, "Hey, I picked up some stuff from the auction place for Mel. Like, pull your car around and I'll put it in the trunk for you." And I'm
Did
like,
you have
"Okay,
any
sweet."
idea?
And he
Did
opens up his truck and I knew she had bought stuff. I kind of forgot that he brought it for her and I was picking it up, but I'm like, "Okay, so now that the trunk is full, I guess we put the rest in the back seat." Like,
what did she buy? What did she buy?
okay, so part of it is she's buying stuff, so she's putting on a golf tournament fundraiser for the hockey team, and she wanted to spend some team money on getting some of those raffle prizes.
Okay.
Some of the stuff is not for that. I'm sure of it. But then Friday,
Uh-huh.
she's like, "Oh, I need to zip up to Barry to hit the auction place to pick up some more stuff." I'm like, "Oh my God. I just got rid of all the boxes and stuff to do the bathroom reno,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have boxes everywhere for this hockey tournament,
Um,
raffle,
thing.
whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
so has she bought any more green felt game table toppers?
As far as I know, I have not seen any of those.
Okay, so are the items that she bought going to eventually go away because of the raffle?
Yes, that is the plan.
Do you believe her?
Except for the coat, a pair of shoes, some sunglasses, a bunch of things she bought for herself that were too good deals to pass up. And they were good deals, I'll give her that, but still. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, that's so, I mean, okay, so,
Okay,
uh,
one of the
tell me.
things
Mhm,
is one of those boxes that you have to jump up on that you see like the CrossFitter people doing when you jump up on those boxes.
mhm. Really?
Have you seen that? Yeah.
Probably, but why did she buy that?
Yeah. I'm like, "Is that for the raffle?" Like, "That's for the raffle, right?" She goes, "Well, I kinda got it because I thought Buddy might use it when he's doing his workouts." And I'm like, I have, like, I was gonna say pine cones. What do you call them? The little orange cones. I have one of those agility ladders. I have a 50-pound bag weight. I have a whole set of weights. I have 3 yoga mats. I have a ball. Like, there's so much workout stuff here.
Mhm.
And he has a membership at the Y. He doesn't work out here really. Why can't this stuff leave my house? You know what I'm saying?
Because it was being sold at the auction and she needs to purchase it.
It was a good deal.
It's a good deal. You know what?
Okay?
If I can't egg Isabella on with her boyfriend tonight, I'm gonna have to put my energy elsewhere, which is going to be encouraging Mel to online shop. Okay, go on. Online auction shop.
Okay. The other thing that came home was this frying pan, like
What?
a
Okay.
deep one, like a 3-inch deep one,
Yeah.
a Cuisinart one, a good one. I recognize it because it's exactly like the one we have in the fucking drawer.
Mm.
And I said, "Is this isn't for the raffle table?" She's like, "No, but it was such a good deal. It's a great frying pan." I'm like, "We have 80 great frying pans. Why do we need?" Well, she's like, "If I've got the sauce in this one, then I have the other one to be able to do something else." I'm like, "Can't you use one of the other 8 million frying pans we have?" I don't understand. And then she pulls the "I'm the house chef" card.
Yes.
And I don't really have a leg to stand on after that.
I
And I said,
know.
"Okay, I do feel we're at the point now, though. If you bring in a frying pan, another one has to go."
And did she agree to that?
She agreed to that. And so she washed the new frying pan this morning.
Mhm.
I have not seen one go yet, but I will keep you fucking posted. I should go and take a picture of our frying pan drawer.
You should actually
I should
have posted
stack them
it.
all up, like make it like portrait mode, like make it,
Yeah.
and I'll put it on the thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah. I think you
And you see
should.
my pain.
Yeah, I think you should. That's fucking funny. Well,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I think I ran into somebody famous yesterday, by the way. Yeah.
Who?
Okay, so I went to an estate sale in the morning, yesterday morning,
Ooh.
and it was in the beaches area-ish, but it was like I think it's where all the rich people live when they live in the beaches. Like,
South of me.
so- so-
Also, can I interject
yeah.
with that? Remember I said I really wanna go to an estate sale, and now you're
Oh,
basically saying you're at one in my hood.
shit. I'm
Okay,
so
go
sorry,
on.
Sila. Okay, okay, you know what?
No, please
Okay, the next
continue.
I'm sorry. The next one for sure. I'll remember. I didn't even think about it. Okay, but I will make sure that you come to the next one. So this one, the house, so it was deceptively big, that's for sure. So it was on a street where a lot of the houses were very, very large. And I think that they
Yeah,
had torn down a lot of the original homes that were there and
yeah,
rebuilt these really big places. So this was a 3-story home. It was very large inside, like very large. They actually had in the basement, they had a very large, really beautiful, big, bright living area that with these 15-foot ceilings that, walked right outside to the backyard lower patio area. It was lovely. But then over to the left, when you open
Oh,
these,
like a back split where it's
yeah,
like you're
something
in
like
the
that.
basement, but you get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, and you can you climb stairs up and you get to another level of the
Mhm.
outdoor backyard, which, by the way, they had all the back turfed. It was like the fake turf, so everything looked beautiful
Love
green
it.
and everything. Yeah. So to the left, when you open these double doors, it was a very large movie theater. They had a very large movie theater. It was,
Oh.
yeah, like this house was something else, let me tell you. They had, obviously, they had children because some of the things that were being sold were child-sized scuba gear and, like exercise stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, so these guys had money. And also, the woman's closet, she had this huge, huge walk-in closet that was like big enough that you could have seating areas in there. Like it was like, really, really nice.
Wow.
But she had a shit ton of designer stuff. Chanel clothes, Chanel shoes, like everything. It was just, and it's like, this one
Yeah.
pair of Chanel shoes, they were obviously used. They were being sold for 850. And the lady,
For a used pair of
oh yeah,
shoes?
but because it's Chanel, right? They're usually probably, I don't know, what, 3, 4 grand? I don't know. They're expensive, right? Yeah, yeah.
That's madness.
So I ended up I digress because this is where I think I met somebody famous. But I ended up buying these two really, really beautiful lamps. In our living room, I don't know if you remember, we have those two white
Yeah.
lamps that are there. So one of
Yeah.
them is starting to break. The whatever it's called, the arm that kind of holds the frame of the upper part of the light. Anyways, it's starting to break off. And so I was saying to Dave, I need to get a new pair. If I ever come across something, I'll pick it up. Anyways, they had these two beautiful white lamps there that were just really pretty. And I bought them. So they were on sale there and at the estate sale for $95. I actually said to the lady, can you do any better? She says, what do you want to pay for them? I said, 75. She goes, okay. I'm like, oh, yay, sold. Here's the money.
Ooh.
Grabbed them and threw them in the car. Yeah. So,
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
as I was making my way out of this home, this guy was kind of coming up the stairs to come into the home, and he had a younger son with him. I don't know, maybe 8, 7, something like that,
Yeah.
maybe. Anyways, he looked like the actor Cal Penn. Cal Penn used to be in
Oh,
all
yeah.
the Harold and Kumar movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, positive it was him. He looked identical to him. And I just, hi, hello. I said hello. He's like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. I don't know if he lives in Toronto. I don't know, what the situation was, but I'm pretty sure it was him. He looked pretty much like this guy, like spitting image
Interesting. And was he going in
to the house.
to wander around and buy stuff, or was it
Yes.
his house?
I have no idea. Maybe it was his house. I have no idea. Could be.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I kind of want to do the estate sale just to walk
Yeah.
through other people's house. Like, I don't even know
Hello?
what I would buy.
Oh yeah, it's true. Sometimes you don't want to buy anything, right? But walking through other people's homes is so much fun. It's so much fun to see how they decorated, what their house is like. You
Yeah.
sometimes you come out going, "Oh my god," and then other times you come out and you're like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's funny.
I I feel like I keep seeing all these memes about being it says over 40, but okay, that might be a bit of a stretch for me,
Hmm.
but over 40 and what do you mean I don't have a life now? Look at I saw a blue jay in my backyard today and people like talking about as you get older now you're bird watching.
Hmm.
And that I can remember stories about people going into like open houses when people list their house for sale
Yeah,
just to look around and
yeah.
just to see. And I'm like, why would you do that? That makes no sense to me. And now I'm like, I totally want to do that.
Dave and I have done it. We have done it. We
No
we've
kidding.
done it because it's like you get, especially in the neighborhood here, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what their house is like because it looks so nice from the outside, and then you want to see what it looks like on the inside, right? So, yeah, we've done it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I know it's kind of what do they call a voyeurism? Does that?
Yeah, I think voyeurism is when you like sit back and
Oh,
watch
oh, yes, that's the wrong word.
other
That is
people.
not what I'm into. It's other people's homes. Okay, let's get that straight.
Mhm.
She's like, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
I don't know about that.
yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I also went over to the vintage show. Toronto was having a vintage show this weekend.
Oh, I
Walked
didn't
over
know
there.
that.
Yeah, down at the exhibition place. I think it was the Queen Elizabeth building. First time I've ever been to the Toronto Vintage Show. Like I do the home shows that come through and the one of a kind show
Yeah.
that comes through. But this was the first one with the vintage show. And it's funny, CeeLo. It's like there's like this cult following which I wasn't aware of. So it's like I like going antiquing. I have an appreciation
Yeah.
for older things and older styles and all that other stuff. But it's not like I'm obsessed with it or live a
Yeah.
lifestyle of it, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have a few pieces that I really fall in love with, and that's there. But you know what I mean. Outside of that, but there were
Yeah. You're a
people.
collector.
Yeah, a little
You
bit
like
of a
to
collection,
collect
sure, a
and
little bit of a,
stuff. Yeah.
but not anything major. But it was kind of like Comic Con. That this is what it kind of reminded me of, where it was kind of like when you go to a Comic Con.
People were dressed up like vintage items?
Yeah, not vintage items like a vintage teapot, but they were. It was not a Halloween show.
I'm picturing people dressed up.
Yeah, they
When you
were.
say Comic-Con, that's what I think
Yeah,
of.
yeah, but it was like that in the sense of, I would say more than half of the people that were attending that event were
Yeah.
dressed like some type of, either dressed from anywhere from the 40s all the way to early 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a couple 80s, 1980s people, but the rest of them
Yeah.
were like, there was this one woman, Silu, who came like, oh my God, she was beautiful. She looked like she had just stepped out of a 1940s magazine. She had this kind of like a army, like a woman's army outfit, like the skirt with the heels, with the little heel things, and the suit, like the army jacket, suit jacket for the women, and then the hat, and her hair was done all, like all old 1940. It was like pinup style, Oh my God, and she looked like a 1940s woman. It was awesome, but there's definitely a following, and I was not aware of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I
So
was.
you didn't have any dress up. You didn't dress up.
No, no, I don't think I would anyways. That's just not my thing. But
I think you should go dressed as a clock since that's your thing. That's your jam. You love all those clocks and vintage clocks and noisy clocks. Next time,
shut
clock.
the fuck up. It's not a Halloween event. It's not a Halloween event. But
It is for some people, apparently.
actually wonder if this is their lifestyle, though. Like if this is how they
What do
like
you mean?
like dress, like on the regular, like there was a lot of vintage clothing for sale there, and they were really, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But what I will tell you, CeeLo, is it was so jam-packed that it was
Yeah.
actually starting to make me claustrophobic. It was like that bad.
Really?
I
Where was it?
Where was it?
Yeah.
The Enercare Center. Sorry, the exhibition place, Queen Elizabeth building, which is right beside
Oh,
the
okay,
Enercare
okay.
building. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was jam fucking packed. There were so many people. It's like you had to literally like, excuse me, you're just trying to get yourself through as
Scoot
you're trying to
through.
walk down the aisles. It was really jam packed. At one point, I was like, okay, I need to take a break from this because I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was just too much. So I don't
That
know if I'd go to
cost a
that
lot of
again, just because it
money.
was just too congested for me.
Yeah.
But interesting.
Well, that's too bad. But did you see fun stuff there? Like,
Yes.
what do you see? Is it a bunch of vendors and
Yeah,
stuff
bunch of
that are
vendors.
selling
Most of it is,
antiques?
yeah, well, most of it is clothing. Most of it is vintage clothing. I would say probably
Mm.
I'd say probably 75 to 80% was probably clothing, vintage clothing. And then they did have some spattering, vintage clothing and jewelry, I would say.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like,
Now I see how they drew you in.
well,
Because I'm like, I can't see you going for vintage clothing, but jewelry,
yes. So
that's your middle name.
jewelry, the hats, clothes, they had I would say probably 80% of that. And then they had some stalls that had some other items in there. And I did not go
Yeah.
there thinking it was just going to be vintage clothing. I thought it was like all vintage stuff. But
Yeah.
majority of it was vintage clothing, but it was really busy. And they just had some of the clothes were really cool to see.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, like they're old, like you can see that they're,
Yeah.
they're well taken care of, and there's just some fun stuff to look at for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you had fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I would go to an antique one, but I don't know if I'd go to a vintage clothing primarily
Yeah.
one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Now that I know and I've experienced it, I'm with you on that. I don't think I would do this one again. But if somebody is really into it, like, who I could see really enjoying this kind of show? Um, what was her name? Jen, the woman that we interviewed from South Carolina about her husband.
Yes.
She looked very stylish and funky, right? That
Yes.
she could pull off that kind of stuff. I could see her shopping at a place like this. She'd find great stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
My daughter loves going, not vintage per se,
Hmm.
but thrifting.
Yeah,
To the
that's fun.
thrift stores, loves it,
Yeah,
loves it. I do the laundry and I pull a t-shirt out. I'm like, "What? I I didn't." I'm at the stage now where she's buying stuff, so everything that I've washed in the past is shit that I've bought for them, and now I'm
yeah,
like pulling stuff out and I'm like, "I don't even know what this is. Whose
yeah,
is this?"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
cute.
Crazy town.
Crazy town. All right, Sally.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be seeing you for dinner. We'll have to do a full report
Yes.
on the Antler restaurant.
Yes, we'll do a full review.
Hmm. Hmm.
100%.
Okay.
We'll have to try all the menu items. Mel will love that.
I think what we should do is get a whole bunch of things for the table to share. Maybe that's what we do. So we can
Yeah,
try a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
try it
We'll
all.
see. Yeah, we'll see
Love it.
what it looks like.
Well,
All
I
right.
guess I'll see you in a bit.
I'll see you in a few hours. Bye. See
Okay.
you
I'll
soon.
talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.